Welcome everybody to the Custom Song Central Twitch on this wonderful Thursday. I am Elves. I'm joined today by Brad, and we have a very exciting match for you guys today.
Hey everybody, welcome to be here. This is my first cast for Elite League, but I'm excited to be here. I'm also going to be here for the match slated for later. But the one we have right now is going to be Jarvis versus remiix, who won both of their matches as expected based on seed, and the Jarvis Hatchling match, that one ended up being very close on many of the songs. And then in remiix match, that one ended up, again, expected result, but probably a little further apart with the actual score than people were anticipating. And that is likely, unfortunately, because Matrif is dealing with an illness that they are fighting through and hopefully will be better soon. Elves, let's take a look at the bracket and just see what we've got full picture and take a look at the few matches while we get ready here.
Yeah, so right now, we have had all 4 round 1 matches played, and we have had 1 round 2 match played. So we had Jeff against Sanic Studios with a 5-0. We had Triss versus Skulljoke with an upset 3-5. And then our 2 current competitors with Jarvis and remiix both winning 5-1 against XD Hatchling and 5-2 against Matrif, respectively. And this is going to be our second round 2 match. Winner goes against Jeff, loser goes against the winner of Triss versus Sanic. So this is very exciting on the table right now.
Oh, absolutely. Now, something that for anybody who has been following, you probably know, but maybe you don't know this yet, but Jeff, who is currently in the semifinals guaranteed top 4 finish, as will be the winner of Jarvis and remiix, but Jeff has not dropped a single song to anybody the entire Elite League. That is just pure domination through and through. There have been a few close songs. I believe against Skulljoke, there was one that was within a 4K margin. But in general, Jeff has just been completely unstoppable. So it's going to be interesting to see whoever wins this matchup, Jarvis versus remiix, how they're going to be dealing with that mindset of going against the powerhouse that is Jeff. But before we can even consider that, we have to see how the match will play out. So right now, I believe we are just waiting on our bands, and I think we're getting the all clear that we're good for that. So we're just waiting for that to come in.
Yeah, and I'm expecting with a couple of powerhouses like this that we're going to see a lot more difficult songs, the boss songs, some of the more techie songs like Kickback, Destroy, 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 maybe Spicy Fried Stick. We've only seen that one once, but both of these players are well known for their strumming, so I will expect to see some strumming songs today as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if we know anything about these two players, Jarvis has the speed advantage. Jarvis is an extraordinarily fast player, so when it comes to stuff like Allegro, which we've already seen FC'd, that's something that would not surprise me. Well, it's been banned, so we're not going to see it. remiix just takes it right off the table. And Jarvis did defer the ban, meaning that remiix got to ban first and we'll get to pick first. So that is an interesting ploy. This is really interesting already, Elves.
Yeah, definitely. And as you said, remiix did ban Allegro Mastoso at 140, and Jarvis banned Spicy Fried Stick. So we are not going to see Spicy Fried Stick in this match either. And our first pick is in. It's going to be Awakening at 110, one of our hybrid picks. And I don't think we've seen too much of this one yet.
You are correct. It looks like we've seen it played twice with remiix having the high score on it, but we have not seen any results from Jarvis yet. So considering that remiix has already played well on this song, it does not surprise me to see this being picked by them. We'll just see how it plays out here as we get ready to see both of them readied up, going in, song 1 of Jarvis versus remiix.
Here we go. Remix's top score on this is 932, 428. So let's see how remiix fares against Jarvis on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, looks like both are holding pace, but we haven't gotten into the meat and potatoes of this just yet, so we'll wait to see what happens once we get into some more difficult parts of this song.
Oh yeah, you were definitely looking at this and you were expecting, how is this an Elite League playoff song? Well, you have not seen it yet. This is just the warm-up for what we are expecting, because these songs are tough for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where players are probably just trying to, battle with their nerves. There's high stakes here, though. Being in winners, it's not too high stakes. If you happen to lose this, you still have another chance. But you definitely want to try your best to win it so that you further your tournament run just a little bit longer.
There we go. First little, you would call that the potatoes so far. It's this fast burst strumming that both players acted on and are holding strong.
And this definitely would seem to favor Remix with this skill set, because as many people do know, Remix is incredible at strumming, just absolutely phenomenal at it.
Yeah, with that being said, Jarvis, also an incredible strummer, mainly known for his all-strum stuff with very fast fret changes and stuff like that. This is a little bit more straight line, but we do see our first draw from Jarvis under star power, giving Remix an early lead.
Yeah, that definitely is not the miss that you want to make if you're going to miss. If that's a decision that you happen to make, you want to make sure that it is not under SP. So as you can see, we do have a lead differential here of about, missing the SP there. Not great.
No, that is a very tough phrase, and we do see our first drop from Remix there, but with that quarter of a bar SP advantage after the phrase drop from Jarvis.
Yeah, and really, we are going to get a difference of score here as far as a true lead. What we mean by a true lead is right now there's an SP difference, so Remix is going to be able to get an activation off. Jarvis is going to have a half bar that they'll be able to use when they get another SP phrase, but we're not going to be able to see the true difference until both of them have equal SP.
Yeah, and right now we're looking at almost a 40k lead, shrinking a little bit from that drop from Remix. But Jarvis does have that extra quarter bar of star power, so we'll see what Jarvis goes with that.
Yeah, and even with this activation, that's not a super note-dense area and where he's activating. The lead that Remix has is definitely larger than what we're seeing right now. It remains to be seen exactly how large, but it does look like it's fairly significant.
Yeah, and in a set list like Elite League Playoffs, where the songs are just so note-dense, hitting these phrases is absolutely crucial. We have our first little bit tapping solo here.
This is under tournament pressure. Something like this, even at this level, can be very nerve-wracking. And more casual settings, stuff like this is very fun. This is a lot of fun to play. But in tournament, man, I cannot fathom the nerves here.
Some descending trips, both players get through that really clean.
And we did get a miss there from Remix, but it wasn't all that detrimental. And now we see the true lead. We've got, what, about Elves, 20k between the two?
Yeah, just under 20k. They are on equal star power now, so I can imagine even with pathing, because of the phrase drop that Jarvis had, maybe he got back on path during that act in the solo.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at the note streak Jarvis has. And that's a pretty significant in a playoff song and Elite League. To have a 13K, or not 13K, 1300, excuse me, note streak is pretty absurd. But it does not seem to be enough at the moment.
Yeah, just the early drops that Jarvis had, one other SP, and another phrase drop right there. Oof.
This late in the song, that is not what you want. There may be another act, maybe two, probably only one more act left, and Jarvis may have missed their opportunity for it.
Yeah, if there's another phrase that's going to be around here. Oh, another drop from Jarvis and a follow drop from Remix.
And it does look like, yep, we did get an activation there from Remix, and the lead just has further expanded. I'd be very surprised if there's an activation out there that's going to net Jarvis an additional 40k to catch up in this song. I think it might be safe to say, Elves, that Remix is going to take this one.
Yep. And there we see it, a 9-11, 638. A little less than Remix's in-match PB, but it was enough to take down Jarvis with an 863. We have -12 plus 5 and a -13 plus 13.
Yeah, and, decent stats between the two. I think their miscount was one off. Their note streaks were both fairly high, but Remix was able to get SP and activate where it matters. Now, where do we go from here, Elves? What's on your mind? What do you think would favor Jarvis heavily that they would want to lean into at this point?
So, Jarvis does have the only in-match FC right now of Allegro Mastoso at 140, but Remix smartly banned that. However, I would think Sacraments of Dissension medley would be a very strong pick. But I'm wrong. It's not Sacraments at 125. It is Flight of the Hatchling at 130. Jarvis does have a very solid score of 379, 138 on this.
Yeah, not too surprising. They have the second highest score that we've seen so far in match. We don't really have anything from Remix, I don't believe, on this just yet. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I believe you're absolutely right. Sacraments being on the table is probably going to be a pocket pick, if I had to guess.
Definitely. This song is super short, and it's just fast strumming and really quick fret changes all the way through. Oh, early drop from Jarvis, but did get the phrase.
It is an interesting pick, knowing Remix's skill set. I know that Jarvis is, as you had alluded to, really, really good at these fast strumming burst stuff, but so is Remix. It is just a very interesting pick.
And we did see a phrase drop from Remix there. Jarvis is going to act and drop under act, so the act was not as good as what he was probably hoping for. We have, a couple drops from Jarvis. Remix acting and taking the lead back.
Yeah, and we don't have quite a true lead just yet, but it does look like Remix yet again is doing a little better on the SP management compared to Jarvis.
Here we go, another act from Jarvis. We are not going to see our true lead for a minute, I don't think, because both players are just trading activations right now.
Yeah, this is a short song. I mean, there's not a lot of margin for error either way here.
Oh my god. That is an extremely tough section. Definitely one of the hardest in Elite League playoffs is what has been alluded to. Remix did act, but drop under it.
Yeah, that section there you could say is the slash section plus almost, because of how fast it is. Okay. But look here, Els. We got Jarvis with a full bar, Remix with a half, and the score isn't too far apart with the song closing out.
Okay, Jarvis has an act and Remix doesn't.
Remix missed the SP.
Jarvis needs to hold combo here. Oh. And does not. Remix is going to take the win with a 23,000 point lead.
Wow. And that is a steal from Remix against Jarvis. A player like Jarvis, that is just, that's not something you see. My goodness. Again, I was very surprised, Elves, to see that Jarvis would pick this particular song against a player like Remix, knowing that they are really good at that sort of, fast strumming stuff.
Yeah, maybe Jarvis is just getting warmed up into his more stronger picks, but definitely a song steal is not what you want to start out as an 0-2.
Yeah, absolutely. I think now Jarvis needs to lean into maybe I don't know. It's tough because I know both are very technically proficient. So I'm not sure if you could lean into something, like Ghost or Destroy. Oh, we're going into Kickback. Okay.
I mean, Kickback fits that profile as well. Super fast, super technical.
But else, if we refer to the stat sheets, who has the highest said match score?
Oh, it is Remix with a 414 and Jarvis has a 387.
It feels like it's a risky pick because if Jarvis loses a song, you're down 3-0. And your pathway to at least force tiebreaker or win the match starts to narrow a little bit.
Yeah, and while it is best of 9, so 3-0 is not as crushing as it were in best of 7, it's still tough to come back from. We do see a couple of drops from each player.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, based on the scores that have been put up in match, it is quote-unquote surprising to see that Jarvis would go this route, but this is Jarvis's skill set. They're really good at these very tricky, fast, bursty sort of stuff, but Remix also is really good at this.
Yeah, it's hard to compare these and contrast these players. They are so similar in skill sets. Oh, drops under SP from Jarvis. Remix is holding through that SP and gets a 35,000 point lead.
Importantly, Elves, Jarvis not only missed under SP, but they missed a phrase, which did not extend their SP. So now we get a score discrepancy of over 30k. Yet again, Remix with the better SP management so far shown throughout this match.
Yeah, and an act from Jarvis was not enough to take the lead back. Remix is going to act and extend that lead. It's almost 40k now, or it is 40k.
Yep, and we do see an SP difference here. Jarvis will be able to get an activation off, whereas Remix will not. But it does look like it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Remix was able to get the SP and get an activation off here.
That's a interesting activation.
That is an interesting activation.
Oh, that's probably why.
That would explain it.
Even this feels like a better activation, maybe. I don't know. That might be right. But Remix does have a lead of about 50k.
It does look like the activations didn't seem to matter too much because both players' score differential is still about the same. In fact, it probably favored Remix a little bit.
Yeah, Remix is gonna act and extend this lead even more. Going on a 1,000-note streak. Just super, super solid performance from Remix on this one. This was a very risky pick for Jarvis.
Yeah, and look at this score differential against a player like Jarvis. Absolutely, a -1 from Remix.
Oh,
come on.
-1 +1.
Absolutely unreal. Elves, I'm not sure where Jarvis's path to victory lies if you look at what's left on the table here. And we have just mentioned that Sacrament is still on the board, but Remix is so proficient at so many of these songs that it's going to be really tough for Jarvis to find a way to even potentially, like I said, force tiebreak. We're looking at 3-0 Remix right now.
Yeah, definitely. After seeing the stat sheet, there are at least 2 songs that Remix favors over Jarvis, so Jarvis is going to have to either cause an upset on one of Remix's picks or just stay super, super strong with what he expects to be best at, and that's going to be Ghost at 120. If this isn't Jarvis' skill set, I don't know what is. This is just so fast with fret changes and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right on the money here. I think this is one of the songs where Jarvis really has to lean in and get the win, because if Remix takes this 4-0, it looks a little bleak. Obviously, you're not out until somebody hits 5. But you've got to find a way to get back in, and I think this is Jarvis's way to at least open the door to forcing a little bit of pressure on Remix.
Yeah, this song starts out just a little slow, but it gets into it right after these first couple of sections. Super fast, fret-changing strums. Very all strums pilled, if you will.
Oh, yeah. This is Jarvis's skill set through and through. And if you've seen any Camellia charts in Clone Hero, you know that it goes insane. And just about any one of them.
Definitely. This Camellia song is no different.
Ooh, I don't know, Elves, if you noticed, it looked like Jarvis was following Remix and almost got baited into overlapping.
Yeah, and Remix does have an extra 1,000 points. However, I don't think that's going to be the difference in what this song will come out to. This song is extremely tough. We do have a drop from Jarvis under SP.
Oh, yet again, as we've seen, the story of this match, SP management and hitting SP phrases has been favoring Remix the entire time. Though we did get a drop there. That Remix was not able to take advantage of the missed SP phrase from Jarvis earlier.
Another drop from Remix. Jarvis is going to act. Drop under SP.
Jarvis has made some leeway here, and in fact taking the lead, but Remix has an activation up their sleeve, whereas Jarvis does not.
So many points under SP there. Remix is now at a 17k lead, but Jarvis does have an activation, so we'll see where Jarvis goes with this. Now both players have an activation.
Yeah, it is interesting that it seems like Remix is on path. You know, chat, correct me if I'm wrong here. Whereas Jarvis might have gotten off from missing a phrase or two earlier.
Oh, drop from Remix under SP.
It's close now. Remix still holding a lead, but Jarvis coming right back.
Oh, dropped SP phrase from Remix.
Oh, this is Jarvis's chance here to swing back. Now, I don't know if Jarvis just panic acted because they saw.
Oh.
Oh.
Detrimental phrase to miss.
With all of these chords and the overlap that Remix is able to get, it's going to swing. Yeah. Oh, that is devastating.
Jarvis is not out of the woods yet, especially with this act here. You really need a hold combo. Still a 20k point lead for Remix.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story, hasn't it, Elves, where Jarvis has been able to get some phrases, but they seem to miss in almost every act, whereas Remix has been a lot more composed in getting the phrases and typically keeping combo within those phrases.
Super, super tough section there with the trills. Remix nailed all of it, just a couple of misses from Jarvis.
And it's looking less and less likely that Jarvis is going to be able to climb back here with Remix just continuing to hold. That's been the thing that Remix has done incredibly well in this match. It's just they get a lead, and even if they lose it, they're able to claw back in with their SP management.
Yeah, definitely. The consistency from Remix has been a little bit better than Jarvis's this match.
And again, unless there's an activation where Jarvis can pull 50k out of nowhere, I think we're looking at Meteor Theorem going into Remix having a 4-0 lead against Jarvis.
Yeah, absolutely insane performances from Remixes on the remixes. What am I saying? Remix on these songs. Important to note that last activation is a one phrase act, and Jarvis didn't get enough whammy to act there.
Let's look at the story that we have here. Obviously, the score discrepancy of about 50k, but similar note misses, similar streaks, similar overstrums, but Remix just had the better SP management. That's really what it boiled down to. And at a certain point, when you have skill levels that are so similar, SP is going to be the difference, and that's what we saw there. At this point, what does Jarvis do? They're going in with KKona to try to gain some ground, but with it 4-0, Remix is guaranteed a tiebreaker against Jarvis no matter what.
Yeah, and Remix most likely, if not definitely, has a pick. Either, my guess would be Stutter Step or Destroy, Destroy, Destroy. If Remix happens to lose this, that he would be very confident in beating Jarvis on. So this is going to be a tough one for Jarvis to claw back from.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, there are a few picks that Remix would play very, very, very well on that just does not play quite as well to Jarvis's strengths. That I believe that the pathway for Jarvis is just extraordinarily slim, but it is not over. It is never over, like I said, until somebody hits the maximum wins needed to win the match. This case being 5, Remix is right there, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, and as we see again, a better activation for Remix, taking it to about 4k. Jarvis with a little bit of a late act.
Yeah, right now, I guess we're just waiting at... There's the first miss right there from Jarvis, but it was not an SP phrase, so Jarvis should be thankful for that.
Identical activations. Never mind, Remix did not act. What am I saying? Remix is going to act here. Still on FC. Getting an overlap, extending that lead.
And it looks like right now, another overlap there from Remix. It looks like it's heavily favoring them on the activation.
Yeah, this star power is just going down so slow. It's allowing Remix so many points under star power right now. Another drop from Jarvis under star power, not what you want to see.
And it looks like Jarvis has had, 2 misses so far, but that activation for Remix was phenomenal. Look at the score difference here. That's insane, just from one activation.
Yeah, and Jarvis has only dropped like 3 times, 4 times there under SP. Remix is still going.
And these chords are very, very awkward. Another miss there from Jarvis, and activation for Remix holds through some more awkward stuff. This is insane.
Remix going on almost a 1200 note streak. We are 40% of the way through this solo.
Now, Elves, I don't want to cast a curse. Do we dare even mention the possibility of a full combo?
Man.
Would it happen?
There's a very tough section coming up that it would be surprising to see Remix hit it. But You go ahead.
At this point, and
Oh,
unfortunately, that there we do get the miss there, but the story was really that because Remix has built up such a ridiculous lead at this point that I don't believe that Jarvis can claw their way back. I know we still have about 30% of the song left, but I just don't know. I'm not sure if I see it, Elves.
yeah, even with a full star power bar. Oh, Jarvis eating a phrase there and still not acting. I think Jarvis may be thinking on to his next match, accepting his fate.
It's one of those things where you don't want to call it early. You really don't. You want to, have that mentality that you're always in it no matter what. But at some point, it's already 4-0. You're down by over 100K. There's not much song left. At some point, you got to face reality that it's just not the cards unless there's a disconnect of some kind or something that could potentially extend this match, but I don't know, Elves.
Yeah, right now we're coming up on the final 20 seconds or so of the song, and Jarvis has stopped playing. He has accepted his fate. Oh, no, never mind, he's back into it.
Yeah, and Broadcast is likely right. There's a certain point where a restart, it has to be agreed upon by both players, and at that point, if it's not, it's up to ref discretion. If it's that far in, that much of a lead, probably wouldn't matter too much. And in this case, it doesn't matter. Remix will not only win the song, but win the match 5-0 against Jarvis.
Yeah, super, super solid performance from Remix. I know everyone has an off day. I think Jarvis, it's just not in the cards for him today. That's all right. He's not eliminated. He is going to the lower bracket to face the winner of Triss versus, what is it? My bad. I think it's Triss versus Sanic.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, Triss versus Sanic.
And honestly, Els, I don't think it was a case of Jarvis playing poorly. I think it was just Remix playing phenomenally well. Remix's paths were on point. They were hitting phrases where it mattered. They were activating and not missing on USP. It was incredible. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Yeah, that was quite the match. I don't think it was went the way that anybody really expected. Els, do you have any questions for these two players before I go into it?
No, I'm going to let you go ahead. I got to ponder a little bit.
Sure, Jarvis. The performance that we saw was solid, but not quite what I think a lot of people were expecting. From
Yeah, no.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't really know how to put it other than I am kind of mentally drained from like tourney stuff. I got too much going on in my private life. So like I haven't really had the time or like the excess to put into this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of been like, I don't know, just see what I can do, and then yeah, come to this and like, okay, whatever. It is what it is.
Were the results that you saw today what you were personally expecting going in, or was it even a surprise to yourself that it ended up?
Not really a surprise, I'll be honest.
And again, that's not to take away Remix. We were just talking about it.
It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing completely.
Yeah, Remix. You even with Jarvis, had your mentality been sharper going into this match, Remix, you still played phenomenally well. You were hitting activations where it mattered. You were activating where you needed to. You weren't dropping combo too much. Do you feel more confident going up against your next opponent with this under your belt?
I think I played pretty decently. I mean, I have to play Jeff next, right? And we've all seen how well he's been playing. So I think even with how I performed today, I'm not sure if that's even good enough. But, we'll see what happens.
Fair enough. Yes, you will be going up against Jeff, who has not dropped a single song so far. But gods do bleed. In Remix, you could be the one to do it. It's going to be certainly tough, but, never count yourself out. And Jarvis, you are not out of it yet. You have the winner of Triss and Sanic that you'll be going up against. Between the two, who would you rather face? Who would play better as an opponent?
They're both really good players. I don't really know. I'd be scared of both. But like if I had to pick one, probably Triss.
Fair enough.
Just the vibes. I don't know.
Gotcha. And I guess the last question I have is on the final song, when you had stopped playing, was that a hardware malfunction? Was it you just realizing that the match was
It's just
over
kind of
at
like
that point?
I was like, whatever. Like, just I'm thirsty. Let me drink some water.
Yeah, I can respect
That's
it.
kind of what happened. I was like, all right, I know what it's said anyways. What does it really matter?
Gotcha. Well, hopefully your mentality is still at least a little positive because you're still in it. There's still another match to play, and hopefully you'll be able to rein it in and put forth a strong performance in your next match. Elves, what have you got for these two?
Nothing other than how are you actually, let me ask, how are you guys enjoying this playoff set list so far? Because from what I've seen, the set list is a doozy, but there are a lot of really fun ones. I'll start with Remix.
It is fun. There's a lot of fun stuff in there. To be honest, I have definitely practiced most things, but some things, like, I just understand that, like, I can't hit them in, like, some of the picks. So I wouldn't say it's demotivating, but it's just a challenge, But it is enjoyable at the same time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And a good tourney set list for me personally is something where not every song is super FCable. You really have to grind and work to get low miscounts and like paths and backup paths and stuff like that. And I'll go over to Jarvis now. How are you liking the playoff set list?
But decently fun overall. Good picks in general. I think if I actually put in the time to like get good at the songs, it'd be really fun.
Yeah,
So
that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
props to the people who picked up the set list. Did a good job.
Yeah, definitely. And there are a bunch of really fun songs. I agree. That's all I really had. So, Brad, you take it away.
Sure. Yeah. Shout out to Natives of Random who really pulled it together to get the set list to
Oh, yeah.
be constructed to what it is. I think they've got a really sharp eye for what makes something tournament viable, especially at this stage. So just absolutely phenomenal job to them. And it's great to hear from the players that the set list has been challenging, but overall fun. And that's something that we definitely want to hear. So with that said, thank you both for joining us. Of course, best of luck and to both of you in your matches. Remix, of course, you are guaranteed a top 4 finish, regardless of what happens. Yeah, I'm sure you're eyeing for a top 3 or beyond from there. Same for you, Jarvis. Best of luck for your in the lower bracket, but of course it is not over till it is over. With that said, that'll do it for this stream, but we do have one other match planned for today that will be on stream. And that is going to be Triss versus Sanic, and the loser of that is eliminated from Elite League playoffs, and the winner will go on to face Jarvis, where that match will be TBD.
Yes, and that match is going to be roughly 3.5 hours from now. It is at 5 p.m. EST. Be sure to check EL Dibs on stream for that timestamp and hammer time to know exactly what time you want to be there, because that is going to be a very exciting match. It's also our first elimination match.
Yep. Yeah, in about 3.5 hours. Yep, is about when that match will begin. And I will be back. Elves, thank you for joining me for this segment, and the co-host that I will have will be Tolly. So you'll get Brad Tolly as your caster duo for the match coming up.
Absolutely. And it was a great pleasure casting with you today. There was no pressure at all, obviously. It was super fun. With that being said, I'm Elves, and this is Brad, and thank you for joining us today, and we will see you at 5 p.m. EST.
Take care, everybody.